Hello folks out there in YouTube land, Speedster Johnny here. The title of my video is Name My Spyder. I haven't had much luck coming up with a name for it, and it's not an earth-shattering thing if I don't, but it is kind of fun to have a name for some vehicle that you have a special interest in and appreciation for. I guess the whole idea got started back in 1975 when I purchased my first Harley Davidson, an FX 1200 Super Glide. I wanted to call it Boogada, which is the sound or cadence Harley Davidson engine at idle. Well, you only get 6 letters, so I had to shorten it to Boogda, B-O-O-G-D-A. But anyway, it was a lot of fun, got a lot of comments and a lot of laughs for that. More recently, I purchased a 1966 BSA Thunderbolt. This was the plate for the Thunderbolt. B-E-E-S-E-R. I had to look for a second. I wanted B-E-E-Z-E-R, but apparently that was already taken. So, Beezer it is. Also, when I got into the car hobby and kind of turned away from motorcycles for a few years, I purchased a 1957 Porsche Speedster replica. And borrowing from a woman in California who had named hers, a similar car, Rub-a-Dub, R-U-B-U-D-U-B. Well, I changed mine a little bit to say Rub-a-Dub with an A replacing the U. Right side up is good. Anyway, that's the plate that the car wore, and I drove it for a couple of years and traded it, sort of. I actually sold it to a woman in California and had a car built in Tennessee, which was known as the Red Man in a lot of circles, but I chose to keep the Rub-a-Dub plate for it. So, out there, if you have any great ideas what to name a Spyder, please pass it along to me in the comments below. I'd appreciate it. And if I happen to pick a name that you suggest, I'll certainly give you credit for it. And many thanks for any attempts that I receive to name my little guy. With that, let's get out and have a ride. It's a little bit cooler day today, certainly very much appreciated. I'm still wearing the Bon Armor shirt, but I have a long sleeved shirt underneath it. Hey guys. Guy's probably coming back from the Dragon. Here comes some more. I'm headed in that general direction, but I'm going to turn off before I get there. This is not the day for that. This is a place where supposedly they have some pretty good barbecue, but I've never tried it. Motorcyclists are obviously welcome. It's a nice little stretch of road here. Some twists and turns. Always great. Everything's so beautiful and lush and green. I love days like this. And what's not to like? But I have a feeling that in a few days we're probably going to start getting some much cooler weather. A for real jacket is going to be what's going to be needed, and that's fine. I feel good in the cool weather. The bike runs well in the cool weather. Got to put those miles on. As you look at the road, you can see it's obviously rained here sometime in the not too distant past, but it's no evidence of it right now. It seems to be pretty clear. The sun is shining. Nice day. Gotta love it. I haven't had a single ride with Brer Dan this year. He hasn't called me, and I hope he's okay. I don't even know if he's back in town for sure. But with COVID-19 and all, it wouldn't be quite the same where we'd be able to go for a ride and then stop somewhere for lunch. You know, that social distancing thing. Nobody wants to come down with the virus, that's for sure. Whoa! Tractor trailer. I wonder if he made a wrong turn and was going to try to do the dragon with that thing. Man, that's really bad news. There's been some bad accidents when guys have thought it's okay to do that. Well, hey, this U.S. route must be okay, right? No, sir. The long sleeve tee that I'm wearing, which says Atlanta, actually is from the very first half marathon that Sarah and I did back in 2006. It was in Atlanta, of course, and it was on Thanksgiving Day. And somehow that 13.1 miles really took a toll on both of us. I remember after we got back to the motel that long, hot baths were definitely in order. And even with that, we were still pretty stiff for a day or two. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. We had been invited to have the dinner with one of our daughter's college friends, and he provided everything. We didn't have to bring anything. I don't think we even brought a bottle of wine. Well, maybe we did, I'm not sure. That is quite a while ago. But it was a great time. And the Atlanta Marathon is kind of interesting because they have one hill that is so steep and so far into the race that they call the hill Cardiac Hill, which is kind of ironic because at the top of the hill is a hospital. So if somebody actually did have a heart attack, they wouldn't have to be transported very far to get some emergency treatment. As far as I know, it didn't happen to anybody that day. Half marathons are a lot of fun. Now, I'm not a runner, haven't been since I was in my late 20s, and I only go to half marathons that are walker friendly, and there are quite a few. Obviously New York City, Boston, and so forth. Those are the real deal. You gotta run. But it's always been a lot of fun to do those. Since I've been in Tennessee, I've done 8. 3 was kind of a banner year, where I did the one in Knoxville, of course. And I also did one at Walt Disney World. And I did one called the Flying Pig in Cincinnati. That's a kind of a well-known one, so I understand. I guess it's that kind of catchy name that people notice. Well, guys, doesn't look like you're going to be able to run away from me. This little Spyder here can keep up with the best of them. Of course, those are Harleys, and I have a feeling head-to-head that I'd do very well against one. Straight line or curves or anything. And you often wonder when you see the guys on the expensive bikes, how well do they really ride? Ooh, look at this junkyard here. That outdoor area looks worse than the worst indoor garage I think I've ever seen. There's a place coming up on the left which is kind of a Harley hangout. I think they probably sell t-shirts. It's not a dealership. These guys are turning into the parking lot across the street. I wonder what's with that. Anyway, yes, it's well populated with motorcycles, that's for sure. I didn't look closely enough to see if everyone was a Harley, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were. And don't get me wrong, I do love Harley Davidsons. Say what you will, they're great bikes. I understand they're not doing so well in sales right now, and there's a new chief executive officer, and he's trying to make some changes, and they're kind of struggling to figure out what's the right combination of models. I guess they're cutting back on some, and they're creating new ones. They're coming out with a true adventure bike, and of course there's the electric motorcycle, which I understand has one whopping big price tag on it. Well, anyway, I hope they do well. It would be awful to lose that company that's been part of our culture since 1903. People love them, and they always will. Well, it's getting kind of close to sign-off time, so I think that's what I'm going to do. So, Speedster Johnny, ride safe, keep the rubber side down. Speedster Johnny out.